Welcome, everybody, to another edition of my Oscar predictions. I am your host, Ricky Valero. It is that time of the year where Oscar predictions are going to flood in. Today, I'm going to continue with my predictions. And as I mentioned before, for each episode, I will be sharing my personal 5 picks at the time of recording, which are going to be turned in on my voting ballot, whether that's Critics' Choice or Hollywood Critic Association or Music City Film Critic Association. And then, of course, at the same time, we'll be sharing who I believe will be hearing their name called on Oscar nomination morning. Today's episode, I'm going to take a peek at the Best Actor race. There is a few films in the Best Actor category that I haven't had a chance to see that I might have an opportunity to affect my personal rankings. I've heard nothing but good things about Leonardo DiCaprio in Killers of the Flower Moon, Paul Giamatti in The Holdovers, Barry in Saltburn. So once I see those, maybe I could add those to the mix. But as I mentioned, I will be sharing my personal ballot with each of you, and it can change between now and voting and now and the next time I record these, but I will be sharing that. I will share my ballot with you guys the moment I turn it in. At the same time, I will be sharing my predictions for the categories and who I think will be nominated at the Oscars. Folks, I would love for this to be interactive. Drop in the comments who you believe is going to be nominated Oscar morning. On top of that, drop me your personal favorite picks as well. So I'm very, very excited to talk about the Best Actor category. Like I'm going to do in each and every episode, I'm going to share my 5 that are currently in. And then, of course, afterwards, I'll share who I think is going to be nominated. My personal 5 are as follows: Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. Let me stop right here for just a second. Jeffrey Wright being an Oscar nominee would be really cool just because this performance is magnificent. It's got some brilliant layers to it. It's hilarious. It's funny. I don't know. The more I think about American Fiction, the more I love that film a whole lot. But speaking of the idea of hearing this called Oscar nomination morning, but on my own personal ballot as well, Coleman Domingo for Rustin. This would be just the Bella of the ball. I would be the happiest man. I would be on cloud 9 because Coleman Domingo is one of the best working actors. His performance in Rustin is magnificent. I need this to happen. Academy Award nominee Coleman Domingo. Would love it so much. One that I believe that's really high on my personal list right now. My list has like really drastically changed in the last week of the films that I saw at the 2023 AFI Film Festival. 4 of these films I've only seen in the last like week. You know what I mean? Like Tia Yao from Past Lives being kicked out of this category really broke my heart. Alden Einrich being kicked out for Fair Play really kind of hurt my heart. And Eugenio Derbez and Radical, those 3 great performances. But Michael Fassbender, The Killer, one of my favorite performances of the year, very cold, calculated in that performance, was magnificent. I personally feel like it should be in the conversation. Not very many people are putting it there, but for me, I believe it's there. Bradley Cooper, Maestro. I've got to see a lot of these films still, but man, Cooper is just magnificent in this film. There is one scene in particular that has been like stitched in my mind ever since I saw this film. Can't wait for the rest of the world to see this. So Murphy, Wright, Domingo, Fassbender, Cooper. Those are my 5 right now. Now let's switch over to my Oscar predictions. Who will hear their name Oscar nominee morning? Right now, hovering in at that top spot right now, who I think is preemptive winner currently right now, Bradley Cooper for Maestro. Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. I do believe he's going to get his nomination there and get his just due there. Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. And then Leonardo DiCaprio for Killers of the Flower Moon. And then in that fifth slot, battle. There's a battle here right now because honestly, part of me really thinks that Coleman Domingo is going to get nominated, but then there's another part of me that Paul Giamatti and The Holdovers is kind of lingering there right now because that film is getting a lot of love. So you're talking Best Picture possibly, you got screenplay, you know, you got people talking about other aspects of that film getting nominated. So if that's the case, Best Actor seems to be the next in line when you're talking about it. Could Coleman Domingo be a lone nominee for the film Rustin? I would love it. But I'm sliding in Domingo just right now at the 5 slot with Giamatti on the outside looking in. But honestly, it could go either way right now. So Cooper, Murphy, Wright, DiCaprio, Domingo. Those are my 5 in the best actor category. Love to hear your thoughts. Who do you think are currently in? Not your personal. Give me those as well. But who do you think are the predictive 5 currently in that best actor race? Leave them comments below. Subscribe if you don't mind. Check out the channel. I got other fantastic content dropping on here. But we are in the midst of award season, and I'll be talking about Best Director and Best Picture in the very, very near future. I'll talk to you guys soon.